Hello everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Morsels. Today we are going to meditate on the topic God's purpose for my life and His timing. In this entire month of February, we will be meditating on this particular topic, and each week we will look at a different perspective on God's purpose for my life and His timing. Each one of us are made with a purpose. In the book of Jeremiah chapter 18 verse 6, God says that like clay in the hands of a potter are you in my hands. I have a few clay pots and mugs with me over here. Each one of them were made by the same potter using the same clay but with a unique purpose. I use this to store hot coffee. I use this to put milk. I use this for the Indian ice cream, which we call kulfi, and I use this to drink my coffee. I cannot drink coffee from this, nor can I drink coffee from this or this. I have to use this to drink my coffee. It is the same God who created each one of us from the same dust of the earth, but with a unique purpose. The potter never wastes his clay. He never makes anything simply just for the sake of making it without any purpose. You see, God never wastes anything. Each one of us are made with a purpose. He has never made anyone just simply to sit back and watch the others around him being used by God. But some of us might ask, but I don't know my purpose. I don't know what's God's plan for my life. There was a person in the Bible, his name was Gideon. He used to think exactly the same. He was a simple farmer without any big dreams. He had absolutely no clue of why God created him and placed him particularly at that point of time in Israel. He had no idea about his purpose in his life. The way Gideon is introduced to us in the book of Judges is interesting. We see that he is scared and he's hiding from the Midianites and he's threshing wheat in a wine press. It's interesting because a wine press is actually a pit in the ground. If you go to Israel or Palestine, even today we can see the old wine presses that people used to use during those days. In the wine press, people would bring all the grapes and they would trample on the grapes to crush them and bring out the juice. The juice would then go and fall into another section in the pit. That's how they used to crush grapes along back. And here we see that Gideon is actually trying to thresh wheat in a wine press, which actually doesn't make any sense. He is actually supposed to thresh the wheat in an open place, which is called a threshing floor, where there is plenty of wind. In a wine press, there is hardly any wind, which means he has to do double the amount of work he is actually supposed to do. Now, I believe that people would have been calling him names because of his situation, because of his behavior. Probably his friends would have called him, oh, scaredy cat Gideon, he's hiding in the wine press, But look at the way how God is coming and addressing him. God says, oh, mighty man of valor. Hey, mighty warrior. When God looks at Gideon, he doesn't see the circumstance that he is in, or he doesn't see the situation that Gideon has settled himself down in, but he sees the purpose with which he created Gideon, and he addresses him looking at the purpose. Now let's suppose that I have been using this phone just for the flashlight, and I might call it my flashlight. My kids might call it the flashlight because they see their mom using this just for the flashlight. But when the manufacturer of the phone sees this, he will never call it a flashlight, irrespective of the fact that I have been using this just as a flashlight. He would call it a mobile phone because that is the purpose with which he made it. Maybe you are a person who have the gift of singing, but you are scared to come in front of people. And so your friends might call you a bathroom singer. But when God looks at you, he sees a worship leader. He calls you, hey, worship leader. Maybe you are a person who have failed again and again in your business. Maybe you've been trying something again and again, over and over. You have met with failure. And so maybe your friends might call you, hey, failure. But when God looks at you, He says, hey, overcomer. You see, God addresses us looking at the purpose with which He created us. When God addresses him as a mighty man of valor, a mighty warrior, Gideon's reaction is like, who, me? No. My family is the poorest. I am just the smallest in my family. He tries to shrink away or escape from his calling. My friends, it doesn't matter what people around you talk about you. It actually doesn't matter what you think about yourself. What actually matters is, what does your God who created you think about you? What is His plan for you? Now you might say, but I have absolutely no clue of how to enter into my purpose, or what should I do? Just do what Gideon did. God told Gideon to do something, and that was something which was not comfortable. That was something which was unconventional. Gideon was scared. He was scared to do that. He was afraid that he will face criticism from people. He was in fact afraid of his own family members. But still, he dared to do it. It doesn't matter how or when he did it. The fact is that he obeyed and took that first step in obedience to God's call. That is the key, my dear friends. God must have put a desire in your heart. He must have told you to take a small step. Take it. Don't think about the criticism that you are going to face. Don't think of what people will talk about you. Just step out in obedience to God's call. And when you take that first step, He will start slowly revealing His purpose for you in your life. God never shows us the entire picture at a time. He takes us one step at a time. I hope God will enable you and give you the strength to take that first step of faith in obedience to His call. God bless you.